Where this hazmat incident originated from, still wrapped in police tape. That family of 10 inside the home when the hazmat incident occurred. Of course, we told you yesterday 4 of those family members dying because of this hazmat incident. We're learning this morning about the condition of the rest of the family that was hospitalized. And we also know that all the firefighters and city employees who were hospitalized overnight for observation have been released, and the autopsies for the 4 family members who died, those results are now pending toxicology, and the Justice of the Peace tells me that those could take 3 to 4 weeks. Now, APD also tells me that its investigators can't get inside this home just yet, as it hasn't been determined safe. Those assessments of the property are being made now. Reporting live from Northeast Amarillo, Kase Wilbanks, ABC 7 News. Yeah, Lisa and Larry, I'm here just south of Higgins, and you may be able to see the Higgins Water Tower and other structures behind me. That's the community, one of the communities that was evacuated earlier this week as what the Texas A&M Forest Service is calling the Perryton fire burned through here. And you may also be able to notice just how close the fire got, that scorched earth just right up west next to the community of Higgins. And I was down there earlier today, and it literally is just right next to structures on the west side. Yeah, Lisa and Larry, this shop behind me, the Vape and Smoke shop, is one that sells kratom. Now, they get that from Southeast Asia. That's where the tree leaves are grown for the substance. Now, this shop joins many other advocates across the nation who are now at odds with the DEA. Yeah, Larry, Amarillo ISD is just one of the schools responding today to President Obama and his administration's directive that he handed down today. We also spoke to some folks who are reacting, saying they understand the meaning behind the directive, but they say there are some alternatives that could be better. Yeah, good evening, Lisa and Larry. Things have wrapped up as far as Panhandle Days goes here in Austin, but its impact will remain. About 100 people making the trip down here to Austin for Panhandle Days and taking over the Capitol. Hey, good evening, Lisa and Larry. That's right, we're live from Washington, D.C. here at the Air Force Memorial. This is our last stop of the day, and we're joined by an Air Force veteran, George Haddix. Yeah, Larry, Potter County officials are calling this a head-scratching situation. County Attorney Scott Brumley says before this investigation was launched, they were aware of concerns about Judge Herman, but did not elaborate. However, those are taking a back seat to figure out what happened this time. All 3 candidates on the ballot for Amarillo mayor have different to-do lists if they are to win this election. However, there is one thing they all agree on. It's the character in which the next mayor and city council governs the Yellow City. Yeah, Lisa and Larry, wildfires can spark anywhere across the Panhandle, and this partnership between those on the front lines and those keeping an eye on the weather are keeping both firefighters and communities safe. Now, whether it's here at this gas station in Sweetwater or anywhere along the route, the Patriot Guard says the show of support along the way is breathtaking.
It really rings true to the fact that we as Americans really stand for our military and enjoy the freedoms and thank them for the freedoms that they have given their life to preserve.
Even buses of children honoring those who fought for them before they were even born. What can begin as a carefree day out playing for kids can quickly end with an important decision to make. What to do when approached by a stranger. With a green light from Amarillo parents, ABC 7 captures their children's decision on camera. First at a public park with the Prather family and their sons, 6-year-old Stockton and 3-year-old Raylan.
I mean, we tell them, watch who you're talking to, watch who you're dealing with. It's great to make friends, but let mommy and daddy know, but it only does so much.
And make friends they did. With their parents on the other side of the playground, the boys agreed to come pet our stranger's dog.
You gonna pet Millie? Oh, Millie likes you.
Then they are asked by the stranger to go find and meet the dog's brother.
Will you go help me find Travis, Millie's brother?
One child agrees and walks off with the stranger.
Well, it's terrifying. You talk to your kids every day. You really wouldn't think that they just kind of up and walk off, but if you're not paying attention, it can happen pretty quick.
Eventually, the father is alerted by the older brother, and Raylan turns around. You may have heard calling 911 on a cell phone makes it difficult in terms of locating where the call is coming from. So is this true? We took that question directly to 911. Location, location, location. Important in many ways, but especially during an emergency for those in need and those responding.
I can't imagine anything more frustrating than knowing that something was happening to someone and we can't find them or we can't get to them because of something like this.
This being the ability of 911 dispatchers to locate the caller when calling on a cell phone rather than a landline. As for cell phones, either a GPS location or triangulation, a surveying technique, is used to find a general location of the caller.
When you call 911, it's going to be using a triangulation to find you in a network. In a network solution, as far as the GPS goes, it's just going to be trying to pinpoint your GPS location, which the cell phone sends itself.
But how quickly does that happen, and does it work? We tested out.
This is a wireless test call. Could you tell me my location, please?
This is just showing, it's not really showing up as an address.
Right.
Okay, now it's showing up at 718 South Van Buren.
Which is the address across the street.
Did you show me at an intersection anywhere?
South Van Buren and Southwest 8th.
Cool, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, have a good day. Exactly where we're at.
First tonight, we begin with some good news. A 9-year-old boy from Follett getting quite the surprise from a member of his favorite NFL team. Now this comes as he's spending some time in Amarillo for treatment of a rare cancer.
You know the way, huh?
Mm-hmm. For about 4 months, 9-year-old J. Ro's been walking these halls at the Harrington Cancer Center seeking treatment.
Rhabdoid, and that's one of the rarest cancers. We're heading to the room that I get radiation.
He has had 4 treatments of radiation.
Where my cancer can shrink.
He needs 4 more, and he has had 4 chemotherapies, and he needs 4 more. So we're hoping.
J. Ro and his mom have been staying at the Ronald McDonald House during his treatments, his family traveling every weekend from their home in Follett to reunite Team J. Ro.
It feels like a lot of support. They've been supporting me for 4 months already.
But this day is no ordinary trip to the cancer center. There's no treatment scheduled.
Why are we here?
Thanks to his team of doctors and nurses, J. Ro is about to get a surprise he'll never forget.
Yes, I'm a fan of the New York Giants.
Bushland native and New York Giants center Weston Richburg heard about J. Ro and just had to stop by.
You J. Ro? What's going on, man?
Good.
I'm Weston. What are you up to? Huh?
Nothing.
To have a kid going through something like that, and he wants to see you, he wants to hang out with you. That's pretty powerful.
Who's your favorite player?
Odell Beckham, man.
You're supposed to say me. You're supposed to say me.
I like Odell Beckham, Victor Cruz, and you.
For Johnson, today will be a special day, surprising his 9-year-old brother Noah at his football game. All this planned by his parents.
It's pretty hard. His brother's pretty observant, so we had a lot of people looking out and trying to hide him. Trying to hide someone that's 6'4" is pretty hard.
A lot of secrets.
I was just wondering how he's going to react. I didn't know if he's just going to say hi or actually break down, and he broke down, so.
Don't cry. Hey, you all right? Hey, you gonna play some football today?
It is pretty touching, you know, like a lot of emotion. Just felt great seeing him for the first time after 6 months.
He thought about his brother every day and prayed for him every day, and he just couldn't wait for him to come back.
It's real hard. You send them away, and they're gone for 6 months, a year. It makes you really, really appreciate what our servicemen do for our country.
Oh, I'll remember this forever. This is first deployment, first time coming home. This definitely be saved in my memory.
Reporting in Amarillo, Kase Wilbanks, ABC 7 News. Across Texas, farm families are scattered over the earth, churning it up, just hoping for the best.
My dad's been farming, we have some farmland that's been in our family for 60 years. I've been farming for 25.
Farming is a special calling to Hicks. He says not everyone is cut out to do it. Farms across Texas continue to vanish, 242,000 in 2015 compared to more than 400,000 in 1940.
It's a lifestyle. It's also a business. It's a great place to raise your kids, but it is a struggle.
Struggles now stemming from the continued drop in prices of crops like wheat and corn, the prices of a bushel dropping several dollars over the last 5 years. This coming after record crop harvests.
It's just a very volatile market right now. Like I said earlier, you got to have your good relationships with your bankers. And just like me, if it wasn't for my parents, I would have never got started.
Caleb Stevenson hears those struggles of farmers as he manages the local co-op.
The farm community is very trusting and they just do what they do. You know, they plant and they are expecting rains and expecting a good harvest going into next year, trusting that things will turn out all right.
Farmers forced to pinch pennies, fix old equipment, and limit input costs.
So they're not going to push their land very hard. You know, they're just going to limit their costs. They're going to do kind of the minimals to get by to see what's going to happen through this election year, especially.
There are programs out there where there is price support. That might have to be revisited. We don't want handouts. We're stubborn people. But there are times when we need a safety net.
Until then, what will drive farmers like Hicks is faith. Faith that what is put in the ground will provide for their families and the world.
It can be hard at times. Long hours in the field, whether you're harvesting, planting, irrigating, just keeping things going, it can be hard. You might not get to do as many things as you want, but that's just part of the life we live.
In Amarillo, Kase Wilbanks reporting.